Hello, everybody. It's Sherry Ferguson here with Portland Chamber Connection. So we are coming to you most evenings. I'm down now. We're just going to do Monday through Thursday, but we are here today with Mayor Mike Callis. So how's it going, Mayor?
It's going good. How are you doing today?
Doing good. It's a beautiful day. I thought it was going to be cooler this morning, so I was a little put on my long sleeves this morning. It's actually turned out pretty nice.
Well, it's still a little now chilly. Hang on, I'm looking live. This is live, so I'm checking. It shows right here it's 57 degrees out there. A little windy, partly cloudy. So that's your weather report.
When the sun's out, it's very nice.
Yes,
but if that cloud comes over, it gets a little chilly. So.
I agree. And I think tomorrow's supposed to be really nice.
Yes, I do. Well. It's this time of weather we don't know how to dress. And we're mostly staying inside anyway. So then all of a sudden we're going to go outside one day and we're going, oh, is it short weather or is it parka weather?
Yeah. Well, it's easy for me. I pretty well wear the same standard outfit every day for the most part. So it makes it easy for me. And so, when people see me, if they see me every other day, they basically see the same color scheme. I do swap up shirt colors every once in a while, but you can pretty well catch a pattern. So if I've got a blue pant on today, tomorrow is most likely a gray pant. And so every so many days I throw in a khaki. And then, so that's it. I'm the kind of person that if you were really tracking my moves to kidnap me, it wouldn't take you long because I do the same thing over and over and over again.
Yes. David kind of wears the same as well, except these past 6 weeks when he's been working from home, it's daytime pajama pants and nighttime pajama pants. So,
there you go. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, he's going to be very disappointed when he has to go back to work and he has to actually put on button pants.
Right, and remember how to put on pants and do it at a reasonable amount of time so you can get to work. I think people are going to struggle with that. I think people are going to forget how long it took them to get ready and go to work. I think they're going to be missing on that. There's going to be a few days they're going to be late. And I think that when people move out of their daytime and nighttime pajama wardrobe and into their regular clothes, they may not fit after this quarantine time.
You're right.
I'm starting to wonder about that. So, but I'll tell you what I'm going to be eating tonight, by the way. I'm going to be eating some fresh Portland strawberries, and I'm going to have strawberry shortcake. And I like the cake that people make homemade. Don't get me wrong. They'll make the sheet cake and cut it up in squares. I love all that. I love cake, so it's fine with me. But something about those little cups that they've sold in the store I love those things. And so my standard is 2 of those soaked in strawberry juice, piled high, and a half a can of whipped cream on top. And so Diane is making the strawberries up this evening, with all the sugar and getting them in the bowl and all. Woo! It's going to be good. Looking forward.
You're just thinking about it all day long.
That's my first of the season. So
yes, we actually had yesterday. I made strawberry shortcake yesterday. So I've been very excited about that.
Well, she kind of bummed me out a little bit. So she brought home the little cake cup things yesterday, but she wasn't getting the strawberries until today. And so I had to look at them on the counter for, yesterday evening and wishing I had some strawberries. But we did make up for it a little bit. What is today?
Thursday.
Thursday? Man, I'm telling you, I've been on COVID time for weeks, and I don't know what day it is here lately. I'm having COVID dementia. But we had some strawberries that we had froze from last year's crop. And so took them out of the freezer, a couple of fresh bananas, some vanilla ice cream. We made milkshakes the other night, and they were awesome. So that's it. I know y'all tuned in. I know everybody tuned in to know what I've been eating and what I'm going to eat and what the weather is. So that's what you got today.
Well, I tell you, that's all we're talking about right now is food. We're all eating a lot and being quarantined and gathered up. It's been a little different, but we're about to open for business. I think we have some of that going on. People are gradually getting into this.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about how that looks.
Well, so things are changing quickly. by the way. So we're seeing businesses open around our community. Monday, restaurants were able to open that felt like they could meet the criteria. Wednesday, that was yesterday, retail was allowed to open. Tomorrow, gyms will be allowed to open. And then Wednesday of next week, close contact businesses. It's Wednesday of next week, isn't it? Wednesday? Whatever May the 6th is.
That's Wednesday.
Yeah, close contact businesses. That guidance has been released just about an hour or so ago for all close contact businesses. So under the Tennessee Pledge, so if you're a business owner, operator, supervisor, or whatever, employee, you would want to go stay up to breast on Tennessee Pledge because they're adding to that constantly as they're releasing businesses in these stages. And so they just posted that. So things are starting to open up. We also, so through the Department on Aging, I think that's the correct term, the meals that were done out of 5 shelves yesterday, I think they done 700-800 meals.
Yes.
So that's a federally funded project there, and that money gets pushed down through the Department on Aging through Greater Nashville Regional Council, and then you push that information out to all the restaurants and allow them to know. And so that's happening at different places, not just in our community, but in different places, And so I think they had a fairly successful day.
They did. I think they provided almost 800 meals.
Yeah,
Some of those delivered. Quite a bit of those picked up. I think they're able to do Middle Tennessee area. So I think they had a delivery or a pickup. Somebody came and picked up 45 meals for even Gallatin, one of the senior communities there. So it's a great project. I know White House is actually doing that. The Bakery Box, I believe they're doing it as well. So you've got, I think that's the only 2 that I know of in Sumner County. That I'm aware of. I don't know of anyone in Gallatin. We received that information. We pushed it out to all of our restaurants. And part of this is to allow the restaurants to be able to stay in business.
Right.
So this is as much to help the business as it is to help feed the community. There's not a poverty level that needed to be met, so people could do that.
Is it just 60 and up? 60 and up?
Yes. So you just had to be 60 and up. And somebody asked me if I was getting my meal yesterday, and I said, "Excuse me, I am not 60 yet." So, but no, I think it's a great program. I think that people have been. It's actually something to look forward to. I think it'll be happening every week for those that have signed up. So I'm excited about it and think it's going to be a great project.
Well, good. And we had. Tell on Jessica for a minute. She'd called me Tuesday night, I guess. She said, "Hey, I got a bunch signed up here, And so we communicated with Chief Williams, said, "Hey, we might need some law enforcement out there to help direct traffic because when you come out of that parking lot, it's kind of a short distance there to 109. So make sure people." And so I know some officers were over there as well. They got dispatched, had a little emergency situation that they had to kind of get dispatched to. But I went by there a couple of times. Things were moving really well. I thought it moved really well. They had it fixed up in the parking lot, had a tent, boom, boom, boom. They done a good job. So I think they did well.
I actually had the opportunity to eat at 109 Restaurant when they opened on Tuesday.
Good.
So I went and actually my office actually went because Frida was working that day along with Lacey, our new employee that started in the midst of COVID-19. So that's always a great way to start your employment. But so the 3 of us went and had lunch there, and it seemed very everything went very smooth, very good food. So worked out good. And I know Top of the Ridge is opening tomorrow.
Good.
So they'll be dining in tomorrow. So we've got 2 restaurants. I think the others are kind of holding off a little bit. I haven't heard of any that are going to start their dine-in, but I know those two are starting the dine-in. So hopefully we'll gradually get in there. And I think it's difficult for some of them to operate at 50% because
It's true.
it takes the entire restaurant to be profitable. And when you cut it down to, 50%, then that kind of makes it a little bit more difficult to process. But Kristen just told me Brewster's is open, and I think I do have a phone message from him. So Brewster's is actually opening.
I seen that or heard that or something today that they're getting ready to open up. So it's good, and to start seeing some of those options begin. I did speak with Brandon Tuesday on the first day that he opened, and just asked him how things were going, and he said he was pleasantly surprised and the business was going well, and so that's good. I'm glad to see these different ones. And of course, I can look right out my window right here, and the takeout for a couple of restaurants are still strong, and I get to watch that. And the food truck here, Delaney's, does a pretty brisk business. He's been doing a really good business here as well. And I mean, he'll be open. If it's not normal, he's usually open like 7:00.
Well, it's staying light longer, so he is able to stay out there a little bit longer, and people are getting out and enjoying the weather. So he does stay out there, and I think he has done pretty good during this time. Yeah. I think lunchtime for some of the takeouts has not been as busy as LS Tech. I think some of theirs they've been more busy at night, but you got to think some of these businesses are closed as well, where people would be going to lunch on their lunch break. So,
and that's true. So, just as you're talking about that, we've got a couple of large employers in the community that are beginning to get back online. Not as much as the COVID aspect from the disease end as it was the economy end that's slow. So we have some businesses that deal directly with automotive. Well, if you're not selling cars, you're not producing cars. If you're not producing cars, you don't need the parts to produce the car. And that is a trickle-down effect there. So I noticed that this week a couple are coming back online, and so we hope that's a positive sign along the way. So we'll also, I did hear the president talk about going to consider maybe possibly making some of the meat producers classified as essential to make sure that the food chain for the country stays. So it's things that we just don't think about sometimes. And thankfully, the good news is we've really been so blessed that we don't have to think about those things. But now you see how intricate everything is, and maybe we'll get back into the mode of teaching civics and economics and some of those things that maybe kind of got pushed to the wayside over the last several years, and start getting back into the mode to understand how these things work. And but you can see how closely tied everything is. So I'm glad for these businesses that are open back up and starting to move forward. I mean, one of the things I've heard, this is in the last 5 days, and I've heard this consistency within the last 5 days. Toilet paper is available. So we went from people like, where is it? Can you find it? Oh, they're stocking it. They have it. To now the last 5 days. Oh yeah, they've got it over there. They had all you needed. They've got that. So supply chains take a little while. You can't flip a switch and automatically increase production by 30% of anything. It just doesn't happen. And so when you start adding shifts and personnel, and then the people who make that product have to get a product to them so they can make their product with it, that goes all the way down the chain once again, like we talked about. And so these things are so connected, it's hard for us to get our mind wrapped around it, I think. But.
Well, and I do think that my issue has been Bounty paper towels. I really am missing the Bounty paper towels. I still haven't found a good supply of those, but my daughter did find a couple of rolls for me, so that worked out really well. But in talking about the supply chain, so from me growing up on a farm, I had my father owned a dairy farm and bottled his own milk. Now that is bottled by Grove's Family Dairy. And so sometimes you think about, but the grocery stores have all everybody's buying milk, but why is the milk still overproduced? Well, if you look at a small dairy that bottles their own milk, a lot of times their supplier, who they're supplying to, is restaurants, hotels, and grocery store and coffee shops.
And
So
the milk cow don't know there's a pandemic. It's got to be milked twice a day.
Yes. And so when a lot of their people that they would sell their milk to closed down, as the restaurants and the hotels, I think they supply the Omni Hotel and several hotels there, and in Nashville, as well as several coffee shops, and that they order a lot of milk. Well, when they stop ordering milk, you can't just all of a sudden say, I'm going to take it to Food Line and sell it, because Food Line has their products that they get in. So you can't just automatically do that. So the supply chain is it's crazy, like you're saying, how much everything is connected.
That's the reason why they're plowing under vegetable crops. They're getting ready to euthanize pigs and chickens. I know it's hard for us to imagine this, but there is a market weight for these animals. And you just don't allow a pig to get as big as you want the pig to get. That's not how it works. That there is a spot that pig is ready for market, a chicken's ready for market. And when the market says we don't need any of that, these animals are sitting here, and then nobody's going to want them in 2 to 3 more weeks. And that's the unfortunate byproduct of all of this, that it's hard for us to comprehend. So unless they can open these things up and find a way, and I heard somebody say the other day, well, I don't know why these farmers just won't go give that food away. Well, you got to understand, they're already not getting paid for it. They've already lost. And now you want them to pay for the fuel and the labor to drive that somewhere.
And the processing, because if a lot of that, they're not going to process the meat, they're just going to destroy it before they have to process. So there's a lot more cost involved than just saying, let's donate.
That's right.
So it is a challenge. And I think that we're headed in the right direction, I think now. It's still going to be a slow go. We're not going to see a lot of these huge events and things going on. People are going to be a little apprehensive about going out, but I think we are going to see people so excited to just go out and socialize a little bit with people.
Yeah, I just, right before I come on with you, I was having a conversation with my parks director, Jamie White. You had him on the other day, harassing him.
I did.
So we've got to make some tough decisions in the city of Portland. So we're getting guidance from different organizations that are encouraging us to keep certain things closed when it comes to parks. We're looking at the governor's order, the last order that's going to sunset on May the 29th. And there's different provisions and things there. So we know that for the month of May, we're being told that don't do any league play or practice. Don't open up a swimming pool. Well, we're fixing to hit the point where we're going to have to ask ourselves, is it even worth opening up the swimming pool? Because the preparation that's involved, and then hiring the part-time staff, then will you have enough traffic to even pay for the chemicals, let alone everything else that you're doing? So we are probably going to be forced into a decision to where the pool in city of Portland may not open this year. We already know of some other local communities that said they're not opening. They're talking about not opening splash pads and things of this nature. We know that many of the organized sports organizations have said we're already done. Some are going to be making some decisions soon, because let's just say, and throwing dates out with this stuff is hard. If you just seen Mayor Cooper, they've already pushed back now. They're just, I don't know where that county is going to head, but it's going to be difficult. I mean, you've seen they already announced for their budget a 32% property tax increase just to uncover from where they are. and now they've pushed back any phase one plan. And that whole economy in that county is built on retail, restaurants, tourism, those things. So we're going to have to make some decisions. So you ask yourself, okay, if my season normally ends end of June, middle of June, 1st of July, do I want to start at the beginning of June and only get just a handful of games in? We had a conversation with the Little League Association. So if you know, in our community, we're fortunate we have the city park system, then we have the Little League park system. The Little League park system operates under its own system, and it's not the city of Portland. But the Little League Association kind of come out and told all the Little League parks to shut down when they shut down. And so I had a good conversation the other day with the president of the Little League. And so they're going to be releasing Little League parks to open up in May if the local authorities or governing bodies, governors, say it's okay. Well, most of them are not going to. Most of them have already said basically the month of May is gone. And so they'll have to make decisions. And then you'll have to ask yourself, are we going to try for fall ball and fall league? And you won't know that until you get there. And you know this from the chamber, that what you're set out to do months from now, you're planning for now and preparing for now. And you just can't wait till a week out and go, okay, let's do that. Because all the preparations happened way before. So this is a struggle, and it's put people in a bind that they've just never been in before, unfortunately. So
it is. There's a lot of decisions that have to be made, and most of us are waiting for a decision from somebody else before we can make that decision. Just like the hair salons and the nail salons, I know that I'm needing it. I'm needing it in my nails, all of that. But you know, they kept waiting for an answer, and they weren't getting that answer, right. And so it makes it very difficult and stressful because you can't operate your business. You know, I'm a planner. And so them trying to operate their business, waiting on that information is very difficult. So, you know, just like our Music on Main. So Music on Main for June, it's set, but I mean, there's a likelihood that it will cancel. We won't know until towards the end of May.
That's right.
But so a lot of the things that we're doing, we can't decide to cancel those just right yet. So it's a tough area to be in.
Well, our churches are looking for some direction. So, and I know there was confusion around that. Thankfully, that our state didn't try to impose certain things that other places did. But never did the state of Tennessee ever ban church attendance. And so it's been open all along if the church wanted to. But as leaders looked and they said, you know what, for the health and well-being of not only our congregation, but for the community, we chose not to. Well, they're looking for direction. So we had a good meeting last Friday with pastors and Christian leaders around the community, and actually even up into Franklin, Kentucky. And so we did an online meeting. We're going to have another one tomorrow. I think we're going to have a few extra join us. We've been looking at what phased plans look like for the church, best practices, how to implement, where you go from here. And simply what they want to do, they just want to come together and say, what's this look like? And how do we do the best? And I just really appreciate them. They just simply wanted whatever's best for the community. And so I really appreciate them. But the governor said that they were going to release some guidelines out of their faith-based office from the governor's office. I guess I thought they were coming today. Of course, the governor's with the president today and was speaking. They did release, like I said, the guidelines for close contact businesses. So unsure, you know, when they're going to release that, I guess maybe tomorrow, unless something's in the work and it'll get released. Because, you know, the other night it was a little odd. We had a press conference at 3:00. Nothing was said about Executive Order 30. Hour and a half after the press conference was over, boom, Executive Order 30 hits. And I mean, nobody heard anything. And boom, it just hits. You know, I'm sitting here getting ready to do my little video thing. And boom, it comes over my email. Executive Order's just been signed. I thought, what? I mean, we just had a press conference. Nobody said anything, right? So we're living in, things are changing, as you said, rapidly. And you do some planning, you try to, but that keeps moving along the way, unfortunately. So, hey, we'll make the most of it. We'll figure it out. Who you got online with us? Listen, I'm trying to stare at my phone down here too. I see Robbie and Mike and Deborah and Carol and Rachel and Beth. I mean, I just go down the list. So I see all these people going through here. I know it's odd. I'm trying to look at you. I'm trying to look at here at the same time. But what else? Let's talk about the city stuff. You want to talk about city stuff? City business? So is it, I think Farmers Bank's opening up tomorrow. Is that true? Inside, opening the lobbies up? Is that true?
I don't know.
Here in Facebook land knows that. Let me know while you're online here. Let us know.
Kristen, if you're listening, let us know.
I think they was opening up all their different facilities. So here's what we're going to do in the city of Portland. We're having a staff meeting tomorrow. We're going to finalize some plans. The good news for us, we positioned ourselves, and we're just so blessed with a few things early in the year. But it positioned us where we can do all of our operations, and it doesn't matter if the building's open. So that's been really helpful to us. So we've been working our way through that. So we're going to be coming off of what we had called them RTR, ready to respond. These were different shifts and days and hours that I'd implemented when we were moving in a direction where back then that information we were given that this virus is spreading quickly and it's devastating to everybody. So we wanted to start splitting departments up because we couldn't have a whole department go down or we would be in a mess. Because just because you work for the city doesn't mean you know how to do natural gas or you don't know how to do a water plant or you can't be a fireman or a policeman, right? And so we split all these things up. Well, we're going to start pulling all that back to normal operating. And then we'll be moving to open up our buildings soon. So that's the things that we're implementing as a city and getting ready to do that. We've been slow opening up our parks and some of our amenities and doing that. Golf course is open. It opened up last Thursday, has certain restrictions out there, and they've been doing well so far on that. So, you know, we're all easing our way into it like everyone else, and we got to get back to regular business because we got things that we just have to do. So.
Well, I do know that you guys have done a great job keeping business going with the staff that you have and being able to take care of the community and the city and doing all of the trash pickup and all of those things continued without interruption.
They've done an amazing job. They really
have.
And let me say this. Let me go on public here while we're live. This is breaking right now. Donna Sadler, I appreciate you, and I'm calling you out because she said she was offended because I left her out. By the way, I got a contest for those shirts I told you, Donna. So now I'm speaking directly into the camera to somebody that's not even on camera with me who's listening. This is how crazy. We've kind of moved into this whole new world of technology. So, Donna, I've got a contest I want to do with those shirts from the city so that we can do that local love. So I'll get with you. And so I'm trying. I see Nikki Culbreth watching. And I never know, is it Phyllis or Robert that's watching us? So if it's Phyllis or Robert, tell us. If it's Robert, I hope your knee's feeling better. Phyllis, I don't know how you put up with your husband. So I'm just looking down the list. I see Wendy and Kathy and all these folks. So I got to talk to Sherry.
Well, you know, they're posting because they want to win these 2 free meals from LS Teca. So
I'm trying to read that, scroll down. I thought it was here for me, but I see this LS Teca Mexican restaurant. How do you win? I keep missing.
So if you comment while we're live then you go in for a chance to win those meals. Last week, Donna Sadler actually won the 2 meals from Delaney Street Eats. So yes, so she won those meals, and so this week it is you'll win 2 meals from El Azteca. So Kristen does my drawing, so it's you can blame her if you don't win.
Well, I see. Hey, Angela, I see you on here as well. They got a blessing over there at Front Porch Senior Living with some folks here in town. Come out there and put them in a garden, and
Yes.
yeah, pretty awesome. And I see Heather on here. And so somebody said they're legit listening. I don't know what that means. I don't know.
That means they didn't just want to win the meals. They're actually coming.
You know, I am old and unhip, so I don't really know what all that means sometimes. So, but no, I was looking. Matter of fact, I had wrote some other stuff down here that I was thinking about earlier. I'm gonna try to, if they'll post the numbers today. They've really been letting me down here lately. I know they got a lot going on, but when you tell me you're gonna post numbers at 2, do it. And you're gonna say it's at 3. Do it. And it's kind of like these live press conferences. If you tell me you're coming on at 3, don't make it 4:15.
That's right. That's right.
I'm saying, because you're killing me. Well, they did just update the numbers, by the way, and I'll look at them later. But just give you a heads up: 177,626 people have been tested in the state of Tennessee. Now, that's a bunch of people.
It is.
When you think about that, and especially in this short of time. And so Tennessee has been one of the more upper of the list of those testing, because the president wants every state to test 2% of their population every month. That's a huge deal to do that. And you're also going to get to a point where people are like, I'm not getting tested. They just don't want to show up for a test, especially when the swab.
Yes, I saw that.
Goes, I don't know, can you see? Goes up like up in here somewhere. I don't know. So
yeah, it's not something that I just want to go out and just have a test to have a test. So
no, I want the antibody test. And so I know several clinics are starting to do them around our area. I've heard even here in town. I haven't called directly, so I'd like to ask, because I was told by Dr. Piercy of the State Health Department that there are only 6 tests that are approved by the FDA. There's a bunch of people who will do an antibody test, but they may not accurately identify SARS-CoV-2, which is the coronavirus causes COVID-19 disease. I sound like a doctor, don't I? I've been watching this stuff too much. But that's the test I want. I want to know, have I been exposed and got over it?
right.
So I'd like to know that one. And that'd be a good shirt, Donna Sadler, that you could make for people who get the antibody test. And it's like where you used to have to do the scarlet letter, and you get a T-shirt, that says, I am, okay.
That's right.
Thing from me
right.
or something. So just saying.
Well, Kristen has a good question on here. She wants to know how the census numbers are looking.
Kristen,
so she is listening. Yes.
That's somebody. Who is that person? I don't even know who that is.
Well, she is a excellent event coordinator here in the city of Portland.
Whatever. Looking at the census numbers, been trying to promote that on our site, trying to do that every couple of days on the city's Facebook page. But we're getting a little outpaced by some other communities.
That's right. We need a contest. Our percentage in Portland needs to be higher than Hendersonville and White House.
Yes.
They're beating us on our percentage of completed.
They are, and Kentucky's doing pretty good too. So, we got it. What is the saying? Up our game. I'm not as hip as I need to be. So, we need to do that. I don't know how you accomplish that, but I mean, come on, people. You've been at home for 6 weeks. You should have been online filling out your census. Come on.
That's right. You have every opportunity now. We need to send in those census numbers, because we're around 50. I looked at it today, 51 or 52%, somewhere in there. And Hendersonville was around 60, and White House was around 64% of our people have completed their census. So come on, guys, we can't let them beat us. Fill out our census.
Listen, I've been around here long enough now. I remember when you went down Gallatin Road, Hendersonville didn't even really exist.
That's right.
And a couple of country music stars moved in on the lake. Next thing you know, they got 60,000 people, and then we were, so. But anyway, come on, Portland, we need you to fill out the stuff. And remember, this is more important now, so catch this. So, if you heard the news, Mayor Cooper, he's asking for a 32% property tax increase because they're bleeding money left and right. Now, they were already broke before the COVID-19. I hope you knew that. Nashville was already broke. But this is serious. We're going to see some communities absolutely collapse, some counties and some states across the country. And so we've already taken a hit too. So why is this important, especially now more than ever? If we get our counts up and people fill out that census, that enlarges the amount of shared revenue that we receive because it's directly based on population. So we need you out there. We need you. It only takes a couple of minutes. This boom, boom, you're done. And, if you don't fill it out, you'll have some crazy guy come knocking on your door.
Yes, that's what I want to post. I want to say, do you want this guy knocking on your door? Fill out your census. So, but somebody asked about Gallatin's numbers, and Gallatin was just under us. They were somewhere about 51. We were about 53, somewhere in there. They're just a few numbers difference, but we want to get our numbers higher than all of them. And that percentage is based on the number of census addresses that they have. And so that is the percentage of the addresses in Portland that have completed those.
Yeah. So we want you, listen, I've been told I can't carry a tune in a bucket. And so if you don't fill out your census, I'm going to come sing as loud as I can at your front door. And so you don't want that. So fill out your census instead of having me come sing at the front door of your house. We need.
And I know sometimes people get concerned because they're giving them information. Well, here's really what you're giving them. You're telling, well, that's true. But you're telling them how many people are living.
Information already.
And you tell them how many people live in your house. They don't ask you a social security number. They don't ask you any of that stuff that you're not supposed to be given. It's easy. I think it's 12 questions, I think. So you go out there, you fill it out. You can get a paper form, but that paper form, it's so much easier just to fill it out online and to do that if you have that capability too. So. Let
me tell you something. I was in my home office on the desktop in my home office the other day. And so I don't like spending money, so it takes me a long time to purchase something of any significance. And so I've been buying a lawnmower for 5 years, okay? And I finally made up my mind I'm fixing to buy a lawnmower. And so I was at the home office on the desktop looking. I wasn't signed in. I wasn't signed in to Microsoft or Google. I wasn't signed in. I just pulled it, done it. And so I looked up a particular lawnmower at a particular place. Later, I was on my cell phone, and in the feed of Facebook, that lawnmower from that place popped up as an ad. So come on, folks, they already got your information. You might as well just put it in a list, and so that we can get our state shared revenue. So
that's right. I know that we had a big event planned for the census, but we were unable to have that. So we are hoping that we can still get you guys to fill that out and send that in, because I'd like to, again, Portland just needs to be the top in Sumner County. We need to have the highest percentage filled out before they start coming knocking on doors.
So Bob Moon is trashing me on this feed. And I thought maybe somebody would want me to sing. And I hadn't seen nobody do that, which is probably a really good thing. I can dance. I'm a better dancer than I am a singer. And so it takes me a long time to recover from dancing.
Maybe that's what we need. We need a Dancing with the Stars, and you need to be one of our.
I do like the old
swing dancing.
No, like the old rap spin on your head stuff. That's what I do. And so it's just hard for me to recover after that, getting up and down, my knees creak and all that kind of stuff. But Bob Moon said he didn't care nothing about me. So he just wanted to win food or something.
That's right. That's what he's on here for, winning the 2 meals from LS Teca.
You know what? We're looking for some real leaders in the community. And Bob, we want you on here so you can learn and, be available to share good information and not just win food. Donna Sadler says she's COVID-19 free. I don't know what that means. And and then Kristen said no desserts for me. I'm getting strawberry shortcake tonight. And so unless something bad has happened while I'm not at home right now, but my wife is fixing that for me. So.
Well, I do want people to be cautious when they go out, but we are ready to get back to business. Things are coming. We're, like I say, we've got restaurants that are opening and things that are starting. So
let's do an online poll. Are you ready? Because people are listening.
Okay.
I want you to post right now. Who on this feed right now wears a mask when they go out, and who doesn't wear a mask? And so start posting that, because I'll go back and read that later. I'd like to see who, are you willing to wear a mask? Would you wear a mask? What causes you to wear a mask? I'm not a mask wearer. Hey, young lady, how are you?
Good.
Two of you.
I've got 3 of them, actually.
I see the third one. They're just multiplying like rabbits. So I'm not a mask wearer. Now, when I handed out masks on Main Street, I wore a mask because I didn't figure you'd want to get a free mask from a person not wearing a mask. And so, the Apostle Paul said, be all things to all people. So I wanted to wear a mask to give you a mask. But I don't know. Wearing a mask would be tough for me. So
I don't. I'm not too concerned as far as for myself. I do not want to give that to somebody else. I don't want to be the carrier, and I don't want to. But I've not been wearing a mask.
Yeah,
I have one in my purse. I carry it around.
I see some people starting to post on here. This is awesome. This is like real time.
I know
what's going on. So, but no, Bob may want to know if them strawberries from California. No, they didn't come from California. They came from Bottom View Farms. What's wrong with you, man? And so I ate. I went home for lunch because my wife was working from home today. So a rare treat for me. I went home and she fixed us. Let me tell you how healthy. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go home tonight. I'm going to grill steak, and I'm going to eat baked potato, and I'm going to eat a lot of bread. Then I'm going to eat some strawberry shortcake, and I'll tell you why I can do that. Because I went home for lunch, and my wife cut apples, strawberries, and bananas. And we sat out on the back porch at lunch today, and I ate fruit for lunch. So for dinner, I'm going to just gorge on real food tonight. So there you go, Bob Moon. I ate real strawberries, not the fake ones from California. Goodness gracious.
Well, I can tell you I'm ready to get back to business. I'm ready for some sit-down Mexican chips and salsa in the restaurant. And so I'm ready to get things back to some semblance of a normal. I know it's not going to be exactly what it is, but.
Yeah, and I've heard several people on the news saying, well, you remember the changes that we made after 9/11, and I don't know if certain changes mean that we can't be social. I mean, we're created to be social beings, and not necessarily social through a video screen. I mean, we got to have some of that connectivity, that one-on-one, being personal with one another. Now the positive, let me tell you the positive thing. I have not always been really thrilled for people to get up inside of my bubble.
Yes.
And talk to me about that far away from my face. So I'm always like, hey, back up a little bit, So this may be a positive thing through this. People
I can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
Can you hear the mayor?
No.
I hear y'all. Are you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can't hear. I'm not sure if it's me or you.
Well, I'm still talking, and I hear you. Can the people, Kristen Daughtry, can you hear me and Sherry? If you can, post on here. So this lady said yes. So I don't know what's happening on your end. Uh-oh. You know what it is? That's Mark Zuckerberg. What's his name? Zuckerberg, something like that. He's saying I've been online long enough.
That's right. That's right. Well, I do appreciate all that you're doing and appreciate you coming on and updating everyone. I want everybody to get out there and to stay safe. We will be drawing tomorrow for our 2 meals to LS Teca and a chance to win the shirt from Spread Local Love. You can also get those from Graphic Obsessions and choose some business to donate your $10 to. And then I believe you're going to have contests coming up pretty soon that you're going to be able to donate some of those.
Yeah, I'm going to do. We've got a quart of strawberries, and you got to guess how many are in it. Then you're going to get your free shirt, and you'll contact Donna and get your shirt and tell them who you want your donation portion to go to. So the city is purchasing a number of shirts and to help kind of spread a little local love. 37148.
All right. Well, everybody have a great afternoon, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.